more like myself than I have in a long time. I feel like my mental health is improving, like my anxiety is getting better. With my doctor's help, I've started weaning myself off of my medication. I
Wow.
feel
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sheena Show. I have a guest that I'm very excited about. Her name is Jessica. Hello, Jessica.
hi.
Um, she took my Modern Calligraphy 201 course and my Calligraphy Biz Starter Guide course, and she has actually agreed to come on with such short notice. Thank you, Jessica, because I was so excited to share her story because it sounds like calligraphy has really, and starting a business has really transformed your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh, so we're gonna get excited, y'all. We're gonna get into all of that. So I'm just gonna let I think you took my courses last year,
Yeah.
so pretty recent. So
hmm
let's get into it. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got into calligraphy in the first place.
Yeah, sure. So I was first introduced to calligraphy when I was in elementary school, but my teacher did a little workshop doing like an italic type calligraphy with like those marker pens.
Uh-huh.
And I just fell in love with it. So I kept doing it. My parents bought me like little workbooks, and then my dad had me filling out like baptism certificates for church and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just something that I always enjoyed. I kind of just did for fun. When I got married, I wrote out all the envelopes
Uh-huh.
and all my place cards, and I just love doing it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so to me, it was just kind of like this little hobby thing that I did
Yeah.
on the side. But I never imagined that it could be like an actual career or anything like that. Because in the meantime, I'm a teacher. That's my full-time job.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
So I was
so
gonna, yeah. So how did you
yeah,
feel about just like entrepreneurship in general, like having your own business? Did that even cross your mind?
no, no, I didn't even think it was possible to have a career as a calligrapher. I had no idea. I really
Uh-huh.
didn't. So it was just kind of something that, went by the wayside. It was like, oh, it's this little thing that I do for fun. This year was my 20th year of teaching,
Wow.
and I'd say really like the past 5, 6 years, I've been struggling a lot with my mental health and just not really kind of in a place that I was feeling happy even before COVID. Um, so just 2019, I had my second kid. When I was pregnant, we got another dog, a rescue. He was a rescue from Texas, and he was a puppy. And I don't recommend getting a puppy while pregnant. And with the two kids and the two dogs, and I have a husband who works in construction, so he's often working pretty far away.
Mhm.
Um, and so sometimes he's working late and over the weekend. So everything kind of falls on me in terms of the kids. So
Yeah.
it's like I wake my kids up by 6 a.m. to drop them off in two different places so I can be to work by 7:15. And it was just like I just felt like it was like constant chaos
Yeah.
in my life. And it got to the point where I started having panic attacks, especially in the car. And
Ugh.
yeah, so I just really felt kind of lost. And
Okay.
then, I did all the things, therapy, meditation, yoga, got myself on some anxiety medication, and all of
Mhm.
that definitely helped. But I still felt like I needed something else for me.
Yeah.
And that's when I suddenly remembered calligraphy, and I took a pointed pen class online,
Uh-huh.
and I started feeling alive again, feeling like, oh my gosh, like I love this so much. Oh, I need to keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so when did crooked calligraphy come into the picture and when did you even start to think, wait a minute, I could potentially turn my calligraphy into more than just like a little hobby?
Right. So your website, I think was one of the first ones that popped up when I started looking for classes online. At the time, though, you were taking a break from teaching,
Oh
which I
yeah, I
was
was.
bummed about. I was so bummed about. Yeah, and so, I'd taken a different class and I was doing it, and then, suddenly I got an email from I'd signed up for newsletter or whatnot, and I got an email one day saying classes were opening, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I signed up right away for the 201, the whole shebang, like the business starter guide, and I was like, "I'm doing it." Yeah, I just really your story just really resonated with me. The
Yeah,
fact that um, you were unhappy as a lawyer and you put yourself out there and you took a risk and did something else. And it wasn't until I came across your page that I even thought that it could be a career. You were the first person I ever heard say, like, you can do this, like, you can make money doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, here we go.
yeah. Okay, wait, so what has happened since then? So last year, so 2023, you decide to sign up for my courses.
Yes.
And like, did you just kind of dive right into it, or were there obstacles? Like, were there things that you struggled with?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I am someone I never would have imagined myself as like an entrepreneur, business owner, or anything like
Yeah.
that. Because I think you've got to be a little bit outgoing, you got to be confident, and those were words that I would not have used before to describe myself. So, working with you and going through the courses, just really, I feel like gave me steps, especially small actionable steps,
Yeah.
I feel like is what the course is all about.
Yeah.
So, I just dove in, I would listen as I was working. And it's just such a great resource too, where I feel like if I get stuck in an area, I can sign back in and be like, oh, what did Sheena say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and go back and re-listen. It's been really helpful for me in terms of really just changing that mindset too, which is a big thing that you
Yeah.
taught me. I'm somebody like I don't like to toot my own horn, even I don't like posting on my own social media page, my personal page. And so the thought about like promoting myself and my business, it did feel like uncomfortable at first, but you
Yeah.
taught me like that balance of like putting myself out there, but not in a way that made me feel like I was doing something icky, Uh, um, yeah, and like I learned at the end of the day that the things that I'm promoting, I feel good about it, and
Mhm.
people are looking for these services. They're happy to pay me. I'm not duping anybody.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I've now gotten to the point where if I'm sending like a picture and email to somebody that I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't care what people think. You know what I mean? I'm like, not thinking to myself anymore, what if they don't like my work? Or, what if they don't want to pay me? And now I'm just
Hmm.
like, fuck it. If they don't like my work, then they're not my people. So,
Yeah. Okay, I gotta say this is all right for everybody who's listening. Jessica took my, business starter guide course and got all the information in there. But I also last year did a little bit of like one-on-one business coaching and I was kind of
mhm,
testing that out. And so Jessica did that as well. And what the thing that you struggled with the most that I remember is just like huge imposter syndrome. Like, oh my God, who am I to go out and do this? Everybody's gonna hate me. Like,
mhm,
nobody wants this. Like, why is it me
right.
that does it? And I see a change
Yeah.
in you that is really
100%.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I could never have imagined myself getting to this place,
Yeah,
but you definitely helped with that, and all the resources that I have in crooked calligraphy has been huge.
yeah. Oh, so excited to hear that. I think I told you one of my favorite sayings, which is you got to do like when it comes to business, you got to do B minus. Just like B minus work and put it out there. It's so much more important to just get stuff out there and learn from your mistakes and
Yeah.
build that confidence than like waiting and tinkering until you get to an A plus that otherwise you get nothing done.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%. Yeah.
okay. So tell us some of what has been going on in your business then so far. So first of all, what is your business called?
My business is called Fine Script Studio.
Fine Script Studio. Okay, and I see that you have a website and you have an
Yep.
Instagram. Okay, so what's been going on?
Yeah. So I have a couple things going on that I'm really excited about. So I'm actually about to teach my first um, workshop that people are going to pay for.
Yay!
Yes, I have 12 people signed up so far at the
Oh my
moment.
God! Oh, I'm so excited for you. I'm clapping
Yeah.
on the screen. That's incredible. And you said that it's with a vineyard. Like a
Yep, yeah, it's at a local vineyard. Yep, they do a lot of different events, and I just reached out to them and was like, "Hey, I teach calligraphy workshops if you'd be interested." And they were like, "Yeah, that would be great." So, yeah,
oh,
I'm super excited. Yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm having like a freak out over here. Wait, and so wait, where do you remind me where you live again? What general kind of an area?
I live in a small town, but it's right outside of Worcester. I don't know if you're
Okay, okay, yeah.
familiar. And then the second big thing too is a few months ago I had a catering company reach out to me. Then they wanted help doing their wedding signage. And I got that because I've been posting online, and this guy that I went to college with works at this catering company. And so word in my name, like, hey, I know this person who does stuff like that. So I've been working with them and they've been happy with my work. So they keep, coming back and asking me for different quotes for different things. And that's really going really well
Oh
so
my gosh.
far.
I really like trying my best to let Jessica talk and not just like scream over her news. This is so okay. I'm so happy about this because it's you like making moves and putting yourself out there and tapping your networks and pitching and doing all the things
Hmm.
that I recommend. And y'all, it works.
Hmm.
And just
Yeah.
like things build upon each other. So the catering company is that they cater for weddings.
Yeah, mostly weddings, but I think they do other events too. But yeah,
Okay.
but they sell as part of their packages like signage because they want it to be kind of like this one-stop shop type thing. So and
Oh.
yeah, so like anything that brides are looking for the day of, they try to provide that as well. So yeah, so they sell signage packages and things like that. And there's a wedding in the fall too. They're gonna have me do like place cards and menus, so that'll be like over $1,000 event for me. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, this is so cool for anybody listening. I mean, I tell people this all the time is like, you don't have to just think about, okay, I'm going to do weddings, then I need to talk to brides or grooms. But if you broaden out and talk to the venues, the event planners, I've
Mhm.
never heard of this before, but it totally makes sense that a catering company would say, hey, want to hire us for like all this other stuff that you need? So that way you don't have to worry about it and we can provide a better service. And then of course they need a calligrapher to do that.
Yeah.
And that way you're not like having to find individual brides and grooms all the time. The catering company is finding
Yeah.
them and then hiring you. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't even have to talk to the clients.
Wait, that is such a plus. I'm sorry. For
Yeah, it's
people, I
great.
agree with you. I do not love like one-on-one client and customer interaction. It's just like I'm an introvert. It's not my jam. I feel
Yeah.
like you might be the same.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like the perfect situation. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Amazing. Amazing. And you're gonna do so good with that calligraphy workshop. I mean, first of all, so Jessica also took I have a training on how to teach calligraphy workshops.
Mhm.
So I'm sure you're leaning on that. And like now you have all the potential questions that people might ask and how to set people at ease and kind of how to structure the lesson. And it looks like you're putting in sort of like a mindfulness twist
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, calligraphy has been huge in terms of helping my anxiety. I'd really been struggling with that the past few years. And not only do I just love doing it, but for me, it's this very mindful thing. I really focus on my breath as I'm doing calligraphy. And for me, who my mind is always going a million, like so fast, I have
Hmm.
so much going on in my mind But when you do calligraphy, you have to be 100% focused, and
Yeah.
the breathing and focusing on what I'm doing, not only helps my calligraphy, but it also has helped me mentally as well. And so that's something that I want to give back to people in
Yeah.
my workshops, and teach it as this thing that it's this hobby that can be relaxing. It can help you with your anxiety
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, so I'm going to be incorporating that into to the workshops as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like it's the calligraphy itself as just a craft and a skill and something that it's a tool. You just have that now, you know.
Mhm.
If I'm
Yeah.
feeling, oh, like I can always just kind of come back
Yeah.
to
Yeah. And
calligraphy.
I feel more like myself than I have in a long time. I feel
Oh,
like I'm just in a place that I feel like my mental health is improving, like my anxiety is getting better. With my doctor's help, I've started weaning myself off of my medication. I feel like
wow.
I have the tools now to better be able to combat those moments that I'm feeling panicky or whatnot. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's improved my life overall.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That, and it also, but what's really cool is that it's not just that the calligraphy itself is a help, but like this whole process of becoming a business owner, it's a
Mhm.
huge part of it too. Like, look at your confidence and just like
Yeah.
you responded and pitched me to be on my podcast. Like
Yeah.
you did that proactive thing and said, "Hey, this is," and you shared really vulnerably and openly. And I was like, dang, like blown away
Wow.
by what you shared. So I got to tell you, like your story and like the how much calligraphy has shaped your life, like that's going to be a huge part of your
Mhm.
just like your business going forward. It always is. People resonate with that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm very excited. I feel like for the first time in a long time, I have uh, like I'm excited for the future, and I feel like I've learned that there's a future beyond like that first profession that you choose for yourself when you're like 20
Yeah.
years old,
Yeah.
and I think like people evolve and change over time, and I feel that within myself. And so I'm really excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you. That's fantastic. Okay, so a couple just more questions before we close out. Like, what would you say has been like the biggest lesson about like just creativity and entrepreneurship? What would you tell people who are listening to your story and really resonating, but thinking like, "Ooh, I don't know. It sounds really hard and
Right.
impossible."
I feel like we're kind of like brainwashed when we're like kids into thinking that the creative things that we're passionate about, like, oh, they can only be a hobby, right? Um, but and again, I never heard anybody talk about something like that, like as an actual career path
Mhm.
until I ran across you. And I also feel like there's this mindset too about business and entrepreneurship that it needs to be like this kind of like cutthroat type thing, which I've learned is not the case.
Mm.
Um, through this process, I've met so many creative business owners who are like the kindest and most supportive people,
Oh,
who are like, "I'll watch your booth for you while you go to the bathroom,"
yeah.
at then, or they help give you advice or they give you leads like, "Hey, you should do this or talk to so and so."
Oh,
And so I've learned that creativity is not just maybe a hobby, right? It can be in all aspects of your life.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I love that you bring that up, that just finding a community of people who are also doing it, which is even, it's almost like once you allow yourself to actually take the steps forward and be brave and do it, you find this whole other world. It's kind of like Alice going through the rabbit hole where you're like, oh, I thought this was it. I just do this job that's like, I kind of don't like it and it's kind of stressful and it's kind of like my soul is dying, but I got to do it because that's all I know.
Right.
And you go through a rabbit hole and like, oh, holy crap, there's all sorts of people doing this. and there's all
Yeah.
sorts of opportunities, and you just kind of like get more and more into that world, and it makes it a little brighter.
Yeah.
It adds a little more color to the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
it definitely does. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like not stuck anymore, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like
It's
I feel
comfortable.
that way too. I feel that way too. And it's not like even if calligraphy isn't your forever thing, which it doesn't have to be, even if it just you are open more to the sense of like, okay, there are other things out there,
Mhm.
not just one thing, which is just like an
Right.
amazing way to go about the world,
Yeah.
in general. Well, okay. So, final question. Would you say that your investment in the calligraphy business starter guide course was worth it?
Oh, yes. I mean, 1000%. Yeah. So, yeah, as I mentioned, that just, that confidence that you need, like, as a business owner and taking those steps was not something that I felt like that I had before. So,
Yeah.
um, it's been 100% worth it for me to have those resources and the steps that I've taken since working with you and taking the courses, like
Yeah.
I didn't even know where to begin, and it's like I think I was happy to like stay in my bubble and feel like, oh, okay, well, people, I don't know, they'll find me, right? Like they'll find me for calligraphy, but that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been a year.
Yeah.
That's that's incredible. That's incredible to look like to remember your past self and to kind of imagine telling her, look, in 1 year things could be completely different. That's
Hmm.
a really hopeful message.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know what it was gonna look like, and
Yeah.
that was scary, but I was like, I'm gonna just keep plugging along, pushing along, and go through the course and do these steps, and it's paid off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Incredible. Well, final thing, where can people find you? Because I want to send people your way to see what you're
Yeah.
doing on your journey.
Thanks. Yeah. So I do have a website, findscriptstudio.com. And then it can also be found on Facebook and Instagram under Script Studio.
Okay. All right. And we'll put all those links in the show notes or below the video or wherever this is so you can find Jessica. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
I
much for
literally I like emailed Jessica I think yesterday or maybe the day
I
before. I
think
was like,
so. Yeah.
I know this is short notice, but can you come on and talk in like tomorrow? And this is the new like, hey, you say yes to things, you go for it, you like put yourself
Mhm.
out there, and then hey, what comes comes, and who knows what might happen next,
Yeah,
and that's how you
absolutely.
move forward.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go. Everybody follow Jessica at Fine Script Studio, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.